So there's no sermon tonight. Don't look so disappointed. There's just us sharing our feelings with you. And to do that, I have to tell you why we're here in this place. It actually started when the Chaldean community sought to purchase the golf course. And I'm going to be straight with you. There was a lot of opposition. There was. And Temple Israel, our leadership, our president, went to the township and spoke movingly and forcefully about why we wanted them as our neighbors. And I do believe, I was told at the time that swung the vote, if you will. And based on that good beginning, we started something called Building Bridges. It was a program. They would come over to our place for lunch. We would go to their place for lunch. The lunch here was better than the lunch there. And it lasted for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and it petered out, as these programs do. And then October 7th happened. And we had a big service like this at Temple Israel. And I did something very unusual for me. I talked about money in services. I talked about a large donation that the clergy were giving to the emergency fund because I felt it was all of your money and that you should know what was happening with it. And at the end of the service, I saw that there was the whole back row was taken up with members of the Chaldean community. And so I went over to them, and I just thanked them for being there and told them how much it meant to us. And one of them said, "Rabbi, we were so moved by the service that the Shenandoah, the Chaldean community, is going to donate, I think it was $25,000 to the emergency fund." So then, yesterday, I have to be honest with you, at this point in my career, I don't go to many West Bloomfield Clergy Association meetings. But this one was at Shenandoah, and I knew the food was going to be really, really good. And before I could take more than 2 bites, my assistant Leah came in, shreked, telling me that something terrible was happening at Temple Israel. And then, like this, Shenandoah opened itself to Temple Israel to be the command center, to be our shelter, to be our home to have meetings, and then I knew at one point when the children finally started coming over, I really understood why the Jews and the Chaldeans get along so well. Because the first thing that they did was bring out food for the children. It's true. And then we realized that our sanctuary, which I'll talk about later, was not able to be used. And we began to think about tonight. And Maya said to me, "Well, why don't we have it here?" And I went over to Hassan. Hassan, are you here still? I went to Hassan, and he said, "Of course." And I said, "Well, we're going to pay you for it." And he said, No. And I knew at that point, and when I mentioned it to my colleagues, we all knew that this was the only place that this service could be tonight.
From the high of last week to this week's experience, last week celebrating our teachers and my 15th anniversary, I talked about what I did not imagine as a teenager dreaming of being a rabbi. And I certainly never could have imagined that just a few days later, I would be locked in my office together with my education team as we faced a terror attack at Temple Israel. as together we saw sights and heard sounds and smelled smells that are forever seared into my memory. I would not have imagined what it would be like as a parent, as a rabbi, as an educator, to worry about safely getting all of our children out of a building, or to sit with multiple toddlers in my lap in a neighbor's garage, or thankfully, watching as every child reunited with their parents. But what I can say tonight is that I am so incredibly proud of our teachers. In recent months, we all have undergone security training, and not a single teacher froze in face of this crisis. They did exactly what they had been trained to do. They kept every one of our students calm and safe in this moment of horrific danger. And there will be so much more for us to say about what we each experienced in the days and weeks to come as we process and we share our individual stories. But tonight in this setting, what I am feeling is overwhelming gratitude for our Temple Israel community, for our Metro Detroit community, for everyone who has stood up and supported us in the last 36 hours. Thank you. You keep asking me if I'm okay, and I am okay, except I'm not okay. We are not okay, but we will be. And we will be because here tonight, I'm here with you. I see our ECC teachers here. I see our ECC parents. I see our children dancing and squealing in the aisles and on the sides. And I know that we will be okay. At some point, we will be okay.
As a parent of 2 ECC graduates, I often and very loudly credit our wonderful teachers with helping us raise our children. They are with us for their most special moments, guiding them as they grow into these funny, little, kind, thoughtful people. They're there for the small victories, like potty training. Thank you, Carolyn. Trying new foods, making new friends, learning their letters. And they're really our front lines, our first line of defense for tough days, too. Maybe when they lose a loved one or a pet, or when they get hurt, or when they really miss their mom and dad a little extra one morning. This week, our ECC teachers did not just help us raise our children. They protected their bodies and they protected their souls. Despite their own terror, they were absolutely devoted to our children, immediately instituting the protocol that Rabbi Gordon mentioned to keep them safe and locked down in their classrooms. They sang Wheels on the Bus with them as they huddled in the corner of a friendly neighbor's garage. They were separating M&Ms into little piles of different colors on the floor of Shenandoah while they waited for their parents to arrive. They smiled and they laughed as they schlepped a bunch of babies wrapped in blankets through hundreds of police cars so that the kids weren't scared. Our teachers are magnificent. They are heroes. They love our children because our children are their children too. And because of their quick and decisive action, their courage and their strength, every single baby, every single one was wrapped in their parents' arms by the end of this terrible day. But I want to say, I know we can clap. That's good. I want to say that whenever those classrooms doors open again, and they will open again, our teachers are going to be the first ones there. And they're going to be ready to sing and to play, ready to hold a little hand that needs holding, because that is who they are. They showed us this week that love is not just a feeling, it's not just an emotion, that sometimes love is an action, and our children are deeply and fiercely loved.
She knows I'm not a techie. I want you to imagine the scene of what happened. all of a sudden, basically all of southeastern Michigan's municipalities, police, fire, SWAT, FBI are coming towards Temple Israel. Myself and Rabbi Yadwab and Rachel Gerstein, who's our programmer, who is here, and Marty Morrison, we were trying to get in. We asked them, just let us get the babies, and then we'll go. And they wouldn't let us in. But I want you to understand that as we're standing there, the staff, our staff, your staff, the people who make Temple Israel run, were coming out coughing and could hardly breathe. And these people didn't go home. They came here, and they were with us all day. They helped hold catatonic parents. They helped hold parents that were screaming about their children, even when they couldn't breathe, when they reeked of fire and smoke. Those are the people who run Temple Israel. Those are your staff members. And I really want you to know that we see everybody as equal at Temple Israel. We need everyone to make that place run. It doesn't matter what your job is over there. And so I want you to understand that our building managers, they're also heroes. They are absolutely also heroes. And our staff in the office, no matter what was happening inside the building, they were springing into action and helping in any way they could. Somehow they set aside the fact that they had just survived a terror attack, and they said, I'm going to help rebuild Temple Israel from this second. So to our office staff, to our maintenance staff, our teachers, our security, our volunteers who were in the building, everyone who was there accounting, everyone who was there and came here to help rebuild, we thank you, we love you, and you are heroes.
Like most of us here tonight, I wasn't at Temple yesterday. I wasn't even in Michigan. I had taken a vacation day to go to New York to see Danny perform at Carnegie Hall with his college band. It was supposed to be a 24-hour whirlwind of pure parental joy. And Danny did get to play, and it was incredible. But I wasn't here when a terrorist attacked Temple Israel. I felt so guilty. It was wonderful being there, but it was awful not being here. This was our worst nightmare come true. It was what we planned for, and we pray never happens. And when it did, I just couldn't wait to get home to all of you. I was frantic. I called my parents so that they wouldn't hear about it on the news. I didn't really know anything except what I was getting from texts from my fellow clergy. We were trying to get to the airport as fast as we could, but the traffic in Manhattan is ridiculous. And I was texting like a madwoman, fielding calls, letting other calls go to voicemail. And forgive me if I haven't responded to you. I didn't realize just how many people I knew and just how many people cared. And so many people care about us. And it's not just because we experienced an act of terror, but because of who we are. We are resilient, and we are connected to each other in ways I can't even begin to describe. And that's why I wanted to get back here as fast as I could, and why I needed to be here with you. It made me feel better to know that people were stepping up for us, our township, our police, our Jewish Federation, knowing that we have such a strong community that was here when I couldn't be, and that they were walking hand in hand with those who were, let me breathe easier, and it has continued into today. And look who's here tonight. First of all of you. This is amazing. Our Senator, Alyssa Slotkin, is here. our representatives, Samantha Steckloff and Noah Arbit. And our township supervisor, Jonathan Morshay. It really makes a big difference to know that you are in our corner. And our representative, Haley Stevens, where are you? There you are. Thank you. I keep thinking about a gift that I received when I was in rabbinic school. It was a mezuzah with a note that read, "The meaning of the mezuzah is on the inside." It's the cloth, the scroll, that makes the mezuzah meaningful. And that teaching has always stuck with me. And I believe that it holds particularly true today. The meaning of Temple Israel is on the inside. It's the people, the community, the work that we do together. The outside is beautiful, like the mezuzah, and I know that we have a big job ahead of us to rebuild our temple. But I genuinely feel that we are the heart of the temple. We are the meaning of the temple. And when we are together, we can do anything. Shabbat shalom.